All right, so this trick is called the three aces very geniusly because it uses three aces, okay? So we have the two black aces and a red ace here, and the thing about the red ace is that it's a little bit of a black sheep, ironically enough, because it feels like it's different from its two buddies, so sometimes it gets a little shy, gets a little sheepish, but these two other aces are pretty good friends, and so they're always going to try to search out their friend and let them know, hey, you can hang out with us. So in that way, you'll notice that even though we place them in separate parts of the deck, somehow those three aces ended up right back together. The two black aces and their buddy, the red ace. Today's tutorial is a trick called the three aces from S.W. Erdnase in his book, The Expert at the Card Table. This is a really easy trick and has a kind of a fun principle at play, so hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the tutorial. The secret is the idea of a site duplicate, which we also did in the last tutorial on this channel with a different trick. The idea being that this ace is already here on top of the deck, the ace of diamonds, and we're then going to hold these aces in such a way that the two black aces are going to make the ace of hearts look like the ace of diamonds. You see that? So we're covering this index here, and we're also making that heart look as though it's a diamond. So this is the idea of site duplicates. Now this is a diamond to the eye of the beholder, or they just don't care, right? It's a red ace amongst two black aces. You got to remember, if you're a magician, you care a lot about values and suits and all those things. But even to this day, I'll do a trick to someone and ask them to name a card, and they won't even know all the suits to name for the card. Now, you never want to underassume the intelligence of your spectator, but all I'm saying is when it comes to cards, you kind of get to set the narrative often as a magician. And so in this case, you're going to set the narrative. You're going to hold these cards and get them into your orientation, and you're going to talk about these three friends. I think it's a little cheesy, but you can be a little cheesy every now and then with tricks because they're supposed to be fun. So maybe it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? Like he sticks out and he feels like he can't fit in with the other guys, something like that. And so this ace is going to run away. So what you're going to be able to do is you're going to show that you have three cards here. You can even make a joke about, hey, this trick is called the three aces. You want to know why? Because it uses three aces. And you're going to say with your words, I think this is important in the pattern, that you say, we got two black aces and a red ace here. Don't say what this ace is here at all. All that matters is that it's a different color. And that way people aren't worrying about the suit. So you can make the joke about it being the three ace trick. Wonder why? Because it uses the three aces. We got a red one and two black ones here. You're immediately going to go back down and say that you're going to place the red inside the deck. And if you're using my pattern, you can say, you know, because he felt different, he ran away, he doesn't fit in. You don't have to use that, but that's just a helpful way to do it. And then you're going to place these two cards on the top and bottom. So now you're already done, right? You have this here, but see how the end of this goes so that you get all the intricacies. Place the black ace on top, place the other black ace on the bottom, and you're going to have yourself or the spectator cut the deck. By cutting the deck, that simply just places the black aces back together, because this is what happens when you cut a deck. That's what's happening. And then this other ace that was already here, loaded ahead of time, now reunites, seemingly seems to reunite through the trick. And so that's just a nice little moment there. And because you're using the idea of a site duplicate, you don't have to worry about there being an actual duplicate left in the deck, because that ace of hearts will just be there and it's no big deal. Explain this in the other site duplicate trick from the other day, but I think the value here is to make the moments that need to be quick, use your words to define the narrative, and then let the actual moment of magic kind of sink in. And it's a nice, fun little trick. It is just a trick in the sense of there's one magic moment. And so I think stringing this along as a building block with other tricks in a routine is going to be helpful for you, maybe doing the other site duplicate trick that we've taught. And in any case, I think the speed at which they are able to see the aces reunite is what makes this a cool little whoa moment. Now, if you wanted to milk it a little bit, wanted to take a quick moment to thank my channel member, I appreciate it so much. At the supporter tier, members get exclusive badges, and if you want to get videos early, you can also join at the insider tier. Something else I'm going to start adding to the insider tier as well is bonus tricks, bonus tutorials. Now, this isn't even listed as one of the rewards. This is just something that when I'm able to, I will add so that I can build out a library there of exclusive tutorials for those of you that are on the insider tier. I'm going to shoot for adding a new one monthly, but you'll get a heads up from me if there's one coming. What I do on this channel is I go back through the Magic Classics, I go back through the books, and I pick out tricks and moves that I think you'd enjoy learning here in video format. So these are public domain resources. Anybody could read them. Anybody could access them online or at the library. But the value I hope I'm providing is by giving you this video teaching and by giving my insights. And so the bonus tricks section on my membership is just a little bit more of that. I'm still teaching free tricks on here, but I'm just adding some more to say thank you. Because this month we're focusing on Erdnase Expert at the Card Table, the bonus video this month for the Insider tier is going to be focused on some different methods of controlling the card. So we have a pretty bold and audacious false cut that requires a little bit of courage to use. And I think it's a genius use of psychology. We're also going to cover a false running cut to the table, as well as methods for crimping the deck. Now, if you've never heard of crimps before, it's a little method you're able to use to where you can actually place the deck down. You don't have a pinky break in play, and you're able to cut straight to the selected card or the card you're wanting to control. So again, this is just a little way to say thank you. And of course, it's a way to support me, so you can check that out there if you'd like. Now, if you wanted to milk it a little bit, the moment that you have them cut the deck, you could then have them hold it in their hands, and you're going to create the idea of the cards coming together. And you can do that by inviting one spectator to hold their hand below their hands and the other spectator hold their hand above their hands, and then have them slowly, this is a little dramatic, but you can say, all right, I want you to just push your hands toward the deck. And as you do that, imagine those aces finding each other, and they're going to do that. And I think a little bit of that imagination play can kind of elevate the feeling of a trick. It's like they're getting their body involved and they feel like they're making something happen. So just picture that in your head, like there's 3 aces scattered across the deck is what they picture in their head, and they're picturing themselves squish them together. Now, and they've cut the deck too. And now that that's happened in their minds, when these come back together, that'll be a nice little moment and it'll feel like they made something happen. Just a note to maybe elevate this, but hey, let me know what you thought of this in the comments below. If you liked it, be sure to like the video, subscribe for more magic. We're doing tricks from the Expert at the Card Table book this month. Check out the video that YouTube is going to recommend to you at the end here. But until next time, stay a hobbyist at heart, keep enjoying your magic, and I will see you guys in the next video.